Anyway, so we were leaving this bar, Joe, Elliot, and I. And Joe and Elliot got into a car, and I continued walking to my car. And the boys had driven off, and I started walking towards my BB Boo Fiat. And I open up my Fiat door, my driver's door to get in, and then I hear from across the street, "Hey! Excuse me, hey! Can you give me a ride to the airport?"
What?
It was a woman in her, like, early 30s, I'd venture to guess.
Uh-huh.
And she had a suitcase and a backpack. And she was standing outside of this bar.
It was a hitchhiker. It was a new hitchhiker.
You know, we're not there yet.
Did she have her thumb
There was no thumb.
like so?
She had no thumbs.
Did she have her leg like this?
She had no legs.
Okay. She had no legs.
Or thumbs.
Or thumbs.
Which was
what a
weird.
tragic... Okay. Empathy meter starting to kick in a little bit.
You can grab with your palm. You don't need a thumb. So, I stood there in silence for maybe too long.
Yeah.
Just looking at her.
Yeah, because that's you didn't have a lift sticker on your
And
chest.
that's the thing. Like, probably any normal person would be like, you know what? I'm sorry, it's late. I gotta get home.
Yeah.
But I seriously considered it in my head. Like, I thought in my head, like, this sounds like a nice thing to do for this person.
Uh-huh.
And then my next thought was, well, and then out loud I said, Burbank Airport? And she's like, yes. And I was like, oh, all right. Well, that's like 7 minutes.
Did you say yes or did you say sure? Because that's very important.
Well, listen, Mike. If she
I
had
just
said,
want to make sure.
yeah, sure. I don't think I would have. I would have been like, you know what? I'm gonna go.
Here's what I've learned about you so far. You got pretty good instincts.
Okay, good. Thank you. I passed the test then.
Yeah.
You were testing me.
I was testing you.
So I I was like, yeah, you know what? That's like 7 minutes away from here. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, oh my God, thank you. And she like rushes over and she gets into the car and she puts her suitcase in and her backpack. And then I go, she goes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it's like midnight 30, and it's a little late. It's scaries.
It was about 30 after midnight.
30 after midnight, and it's dark. At that time. Scary.
Yeah.
Streets are bare. Not very many people out. Not very many witnesses.
Cold.
Scared.
Scarce.
Scars. So anyway, so I'm like, man, I feel like a Uber right now. As a joke, I was like, I totally feel like an Uber. This must be what it feels like to be an Uber driver. And she's like, oh. And I was like, all right, and here we go. We're going on a drive now. And I was like, so, what's your story? What's going on? What's the deal?
I thought you were gonna be like, so Uber drivers get paid.
Maybe that's why she didn't laugh, because she
Yeah.
was like, if I acknowledge that this is what it's like being in an
Yeah.
Uber,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna have to give.
What
this
if she
guy
was
money.
like, you're more like somebody who picked up a hitchhiker?
Well, here's the thing. I said, what's your deal? What's the story? And she said, well, you know, I'm from Seattle. I live in Seattle. And I fly to LA every once in a while. And my uncle put me up in this hotel over here. But apparently he didn't put me up for this last night. And I'm flying back to Seattle in the morning. She's like, so I was in this hotel and they like called security and it got real weird. And she's like, and the cops were like watching me from like across the street. And she's like, so I'm so happy you picked me up because the cops were like totally watching me. And I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna feel what it's like to be stabbed tonight. Let it ring. So anyway, I got real scared after she kept talking about like the police.
Yeah, how many knives?
and I was like, I'm gonna feel a hot knife enter my side.
Oh God.
Like I thought the worst. I thought the worst. I really did. I was like, I thought about like I'm gonna need to crash my car like in the movies into a tree.
Oh shit. Well, good thinking.
Right? Like, and that'll disorient.
Yeah,
like,
but you do that after you get stabbed. What do you do?
Well, you do that when you feel stabbing is imminent.
Yeah.
Imminent Stabbing is my favorite Who album.
All right.
So I was like, oh, okay, well, no problem. What do you do? And she's like,
I stab people.
I'm a knife salesman.
I'm a knife stabber. Oh, what?
Knife stabber. Do you stab knives? Well, you know, when we're testing out these knives, you gotta see what they're resistant to.
And sometimes the only thing in the room is another knife.
It's another knife. Did you know that 3 out of 5 knives can stab through other knives?
Anyway, what was your question?
What if by magic you could actually stab a knife through the knife blade of
That's
another
the only
knife?
thing that stabs it.
Yeah.
So what does she do?
So she's a accountant.
Great.
And so I was like, okay, that's a safe profession.
The stabbing accountant.
And I was like, man, I am so bad at stabbing accountant. An accountant with knives!
For a knife factory.
An accountant for a stabbing firm!
I keep track of how many people I stabbed.
So when she says that, that's when I crash the car into a tree. Yeah.
That's a hard turn.
Yeah, because that's... I feel like knives at the ready for knife salesman or knife company. Because, like, the reveal is knife company.
It's a thrusting reveal.
Yeah, you just have to be ready for that reveal.
This has been